Hi everyone, hello class. I have included all of the materials for all 4 projects in this Ziploc bag. For the first project, open up your Ziploc bag and pull out the folder. You're also going to need the small bag of paintbrushes, cotton balls, and Q-tips. You will also need your tube of black paint, and there also should have been a paintbrush included inside your Ziploc bag. Everyone has a different size brush, and that's okay. Go ahead and open up your project folder and pull out the piece of transparency, which is this clear sheet, and set that to the side. You'll also be using 2 pieces of cardstock, white cardstock. I included 2. If you just have 1, we'll be using the 1, and you may use extra sheets of computer paper. Just regular computer paper is fine as well. As mentioned, I supplied the following tools for you to use to make marks in your drawing. Today in our demo, we'll just be using Q-tips and the foam brush to make marks. If you'd like to experiment with the saran wrap, cotton balls, or the small brush provided, go ahead. They actually make some really cool and interesting marks. For my drawing, I'll actually be using a spork. And if you don't have a spork at home, you can also use a fork. Tape down your sheet of clear transparency. Go ahead and find a plate for the paint and grab your foam brush. In this demo, I'll be showing you how to hand print and color a beach bungalow. You may follow along or design your own print based on some of the simple techniques I am giving you today. And you're gonna go ahead and paint your acetate. I keep calling it acetate, it's a transparency. And I'm not really adding any water to this at all. As you can see, there's no water on the table. So, you have to work fast. This is a very fast process, so you do want to know what you're going to be doing ahead of time. So we're going to start with drawing the roof of our bungalow, which is just essentially a triangle. And I'm going to frame it out. So I'm drawing 3 lines underneath the triangle. And I'm going to bring down the legs. This is a very easy drawing, actually. It's supposed to be fun. Don't try to be exact here because, like I said, we have to be fast. And this is also where you're going to want to play with computer paper to kind of get it down. Because you're going to see the more time you take, that paint's going to dry. And it's not going to pick up on your cardstock that I provided. So play around first and get your timing down. You can get a lot out of 1 Q-tip also. If you make a mistake, you can cover it up with your foam brush again. I didn't really make a mistake, I just wanted to show you that. But if you wanted to add more paint up here, which I shouldn't be wasting my time doing that. So I'm gonna draw my ladder so I can get into my bungalow. This is the ground here. So wherever there's white, that's where the white of the paper is going to show through, which is going to allow you to add color. So now for just foliage, and foliage is really awesome and fun to do with color as well, and easy. You don't need to be exact. You can just suggest plants. Grab another Q-tip if you need to. I have a fresh Q-tip. I'm just suggesting the shapes of plants, of palm trees and tropical plants, because we're going to go back over it with color and you're going to see what I mean here. So anyway, I feel like I'm done there. I might open this up because I want to color that with color. And so now I'm going to take my cardstock. I'm not going to use computer paper with this one because I'm just going to go ahead and show you what this is going to look like. Oh, also, let me go ahead and show you what this spork looks like. I do like these little lines that it gives me. It gives me this really nice texture. So for this print, I really only used 2 types of texture. So Anyway, here we go. Your cardstock. Apply enough pressure, okay? Make sure it's on there good, because if you've been taking a while painting or removing paint, this is a subtractive method, removing paint to create a print or a piece of art. Anyway, pressure, apply that pressure so that you are positive your print is gonna make it on there. And this is what I was talking about. If you use computer paper to do this the first time, or 2 or 3, then you're gonna understand why it's important to work fast, because you're gonna see that your print didn't transfer all the way. Hopefully mine did. And it did. And in the areas where it didn't, it's okay, because it's a unique process. Every time is going to be different. So we're going to go back with color, and we're going to add details back to this, and we're going to finish it off. That was fun. Now it's time to start color. You can use watercolors, colored pencils, crayons, or markers. I went ahead and started to color in the top of my bungalow with my Prismacolor marker. And as you can see right here, if any of you have any of these at home, these are really great. You can also use your Crayola markers. Those work well too. So I'm going to continue to work on the top of my roof here. This was a print that I had done earlier. I did a video of me coloring the first print and my phone died. So I had to grab another blank one that I hadn't colored yet. So here we are. And good thing about markers is you can continue to layer with them. So I'm going to do a few passes with my markers, just being really light with them like I am. I'm not applying a lot of pressure, I should say, with them. And then you can go back over the swipes and kind of make it darker. See how it makes that edge a little bit darker? And on this edge too. Same thing here, you can kind of select where you want to be a little bit darker. And it's always good to work around your picture, meaning I might work on my bungalow for a little bit, but then I might stop and move to the background, because that might help me decide what I want to do next on my bungalow. So I'm going to finish up my ladder, and then I'm going to move to the background. Okay. So I don't really have any green markers that I really want to use right now. And like I said, you may use your colored pencils. I've pulled some out to the side right here. I have brown, greens, I have an orange and a yellow. And those are really good for making thin lines. And the crayons are really great for making thicker lines. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a crayon. And I'm going to follow the direction of my lines that I've already created with my Q-tip in the background. And I might switch my colors, but I just like to put down a few marks, very random, on my drawing. And I like to spread them out. So I work over here, I work over here, I might work over here. I'm going to put some green on this side, in here. And I'm going to put some up here. And this kind of creates some balance in the drawing. And I do think it's fun that the textures in the background that our mark making tools made, the Q-tips, and even the way that the transparency picked it up is really nice. And these lines in the background can look like trees or tree trunks. You can make them into that. So to make this background feel like it's far away, or, you know, behind the bungalow, I'm going to give it a cool background. So cool colors can be greens and blues. They can also be some cooler violets, but I'm gonna go with the blue. So I'm gonna add some blues, just also very randomly. I'm not pressing down as hard. You can also use watercolor for this. Watercolor is really nice too with crayon, because with crayon being wax and using watercolor on top, the wax repels the water and gives a really fun effect. And young ones really like that. So I've done that with my younger classes. Okay. So again, I'm just adding some blues, just very random all over my paper. I'm pressing down, I'm changing up the pressure that I'm applying, so I might press a little bit harder in some areas, a little bit lighter in others. And let's see, I might pick up this yellow green to really add some bright areas to my drawing. Also being very random. And you can continue to layer this, but I'm gonna go ahead and do the ground a little bit. Let's see. I might even add some flowers in here. And I'm just making some like nonsense marks to kind of suggest flowers. And this might be a time too when I will switch back to my bungalow. And if you didn't have this peachy colored marker, you can always use a crayon. So I have a peach colored crayon that I might add and change up the color a little bit too. And it might not be making too much of a difference right now because I already have this brown color going on, so I might switch it up and add this brown and just see what these little marks do. And I like that. I like that I can add texture with these different colors. I'm just kind of following the grains that I made, the wood grain like texture. Texture's been like the word of this assignment. Again, with the thatch marks. So you can follow along and you can do this print, this bungalow print, and you can make this your own, or you can go ahead and just take these steps and come up with your own design and make your own print, and that's it. That's our bungalow. So I can take this even further if I wanted to, but this is the basic idea of how to start a print from scratch with a piece of foil or a piece of transparency with black paint and tools, basic tools for around the house, Q-tips and colored pencils or crayons. And I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing the rest of your artwork. Take care. Bye.